Hello, everyone. My name is Minnie, and welcome to Reverie of a Nobleman's Servant, Session 2. And we're going to get right down to it because it's business time, boys. I've got my mic right up and close to me so you can hear me perfectly as I speak and articulate myself. I've turned off my AC. The only thing you can hear in the background is my computer fan, which is a bro moment because I don't know how to help with that. Anyhow, we've only got 4 of the lads today. A few of them are out for other certain reasons. Out of the 7, 4 are here. 1 might show up. Another might show up if I let him in. We're not going to get into that. Let's unmute and undeafen. Alright, boys. It's time.
Hell yeah.
We're back to business, boys. Last session, basically, you guys had all gone to the town of Mirvalen, to the northwest. In such occasion, I have to scroll up through my and Cow's DMs to get some pictures. Back again.
Hi.
You all were seeking out a man of relative descript, appearing to be from Runeshield and is a member of the Merchants Guild, specifically the Raymond Merchants Guild. His name is Zenzor. That was assigned to you by Duke Trudell. You had started on crafting a plan and putting it into action. However, final layout has not been concluded, and many details still need to be finished up before you fully enact it at night. It is around 2 p.m. at this point, and you all are clear to go when you're ready.
Okay, just gonna ping everyone. Go.
Alright.
Alright. So I rented my room for fucking shit amount of gold. That's nice. Looking at my fucking broke ass character with 66 gold.
Yeah, you're so broke.
Compared to my other character.
No, that's because you killed a whale. In this campaign, you're generally going to be getting more than in that campaign, though, so...
Well, maybe not more anymore.
Unless you're hunting whales all the time.
Smile. Let's see. Great start.
Yeah.
So I rented the room, and we're getting the guy to come down to talk about taxes, and hopefully he's going to be taking some shady ass routes. He's probably gonna have guards and a couple other people, so it would have been great to have fucking more than half the party here.
We have more
We're
than half
kind
the
of
party.
missing a good amount.
We do have more than half the party.
We're missing
We have
3
4
people.
out of 7.
Yeah, and then one of the person who was on the plan.
Yeah.
So, we have 3 people to take out the guys.
Yeah, that's great.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine, guys.
Right.
Right, yeah.
So what did
Hopefully
we
the DM is more lenient on us because we're missing half the party.
I have a question. So I know we plan to kill him, and I know we plan to trick him somehow, but how do we plan to trick him?
What?
Never mind.
Plan to what?
Can I get a refresher on the plan?
So the plan is, so...
No, not that part of the plan. The plan on us killing him.
Oh, you guys were gonna fucking use Seal's tits to get him in a back alley and then shiv him to death while making sure it's not quiet. Or it is quiet. And then and since you shivved him to death, you're gonna take his money, so it seems like it was an urchin that did it. And it was just another case of...
We're gonna make it look like he was mugged.
Do you guys have a backup plan?
Yeah, if they fail, they run.
Yeah, that's it.
And I'm going to discuss the taxes. Just genuinely.
Alright.
Or if the guards get on them, they take refuge in. Where was the map? Let's look at the maps. Give me the fucking city map, yo ho.
Do you want me to post it again?
So I remembered something. So we know we're sending him to this one tavern, right?
Yep. The
We
Red
don't
Vine.
really know the path that he's gonna take, though.
There it is.
Well, he's probably gonna take the main roads.
And here's
Oh,
the...
did you repost?
I posted
Oh, you
both in Campaign General. The guy you're trying to kill and the city you're in.
Well, they don't know his looks, but yeah. And then I'm going shopping. And I want to go to the magic shop.
Yeah, I think we were gonna do that.
And yeah. We didn't do that.
Yeah. So you're going
And,
to the magic shop.
And I'm not hiding myself, so it's big, kind of everyone sees me, and there's probably a crowd.
Okay.
And yeah.
Alright, you've strolled
And you
along.
guys wanted to meet with me because you didn't know what he looked like. Or I don't think I told you the tavern. No, I did tell you the tavern.
You told the
just don't
tavern.
know
You
when.
told us
don't
the
know what
tavern.
he looks like.
We have no idea what he looks like, so
Yeah.
Or when.
or when.
So that's what you guys realized, and I'm making a big show of myself. So probably the talk of the town, as I haven't been in the town for a while.
Yeah. So right now you are currently within the magic shop. It's relatively in the nice part of town, in between the academy and the barracks castle area. It is one of many, but it's one of the better known ones and one of the better respected ones as well. And as you enter, the man sees you and he says, "Ah, yes, yes. It is good to see you."
Again, yes.
Sir Dayspring. How
I'm
can
sorry,
I assist you?
I'm supposed to have a buttery voice. I would like to look at your wares, see what interests me.
Of course, of course. Anything in particular you are looking for?
Not necessarily.
Alright, so you just want to look at general magic items?
I want to see his magic items. I don't know what his selection is, so...
Of anything of really, uncommon or below, but most of it, like, some of the really, like, out there stuff is like, nah. But you can find any multitude of things.
Okay. Give me a general list. I don't...
Let me find some specific items. Like, there's a... Alright, yeah. So, bruh. I'm trying to look at this magic equipment and it just tells me, fuck you.
Yeah, baby!
One of them is a item that appears to be some form of eye. Whenever it's like, and it says underneath, it's like a very basic description that it like, whenever you replace like this with your prior eye, it basically, it functions as if it was a normal eye, and gets all
Sounds
the same.
painful.
Yeah, it's if you lose your eye, and it also can't be removed by anyone else.
Nice.
There is... Bro, why are all these items hidden behind fucking other books? God damn it. I'm gonna go on a different website.
I don't know, give me some rings or something.
Alright.
They can just be generic ass rings that do generic things. I'm not looking for anything special. I'm just trying to, stall for time and maybe have people meet up with me.
Yeah, there's a ring that whenever you wear it, you can cast the jump spell,
Okay.
and you can do it once per day, or rather once every 24 hours, not once per.
The Ring of Flinging.
Yes, it's the ring of flinging, and you could target yourself or somebody you touch whenever you cast the spell.
Okay, so if I punch someone with it, I can have them
You can
jump.
have them jump really high. There's also a really interesting ring that's relatively expensive. It looks rather nice as well. There's an inscription in it in Celestial. Do you know Celestial?
Do I know Celestial? I do.
All right, yeah.
Apparently.
The ring reads, "Those who wear can walk on what least expected, or what is least expected." It's basically what is written, and the description underneath basically says, whenever you're wearing the ring, you can walk on water for up to 10 minutes every day.
So a ring of water walking, but shitter. Gotcha.
Yes. It's just a shittier ring of water walking.
How much is that one?
That is a total of 30 gold pieces.
Okay.
Expensive, but most things are in a magic shop.
Yeah, no. I get that. I'm not complaining.
So Angelo is gonna go searching for Glandall to get this.
Yeah, no, I'm
on the head.
I'm semi-acting, but also just kind of trying to get a feel for what this guy has in the shop
Yeah.
to see if I might be interested in coming back later.
Yeah. One of the items is a very odd thing that you didn't expect to see. It is a javelin that is it is a magic weapon that basically whenever you hurl it and speak a command word, it transforms into a bolt of lightning.
I've heard of this one.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's called the Javelin of Lightning.
Yeah.
This one costs 20 gold pieces.
Mm.
There
Shame
are-
I can't use javelins.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're not proficient in those, are you?
Well, wait, are they like? Aren't they basic?
They
Or
count
whatever?
as simple weapons, I think. They're simple ranged weapons.
Oh, then I have proficiency. Whatever.
Yeah, I think they're simple ranged weapons. Another one of them is a weapon that is described as a sword that has been touched by the sun and is given the ability to slay foes with greater ease. And it basically
Flame tongue. Gotcha.
it's a sword that has fire on it.
Flame tongue. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You don't have to.
What's that one?
Wait,
What kind of sword?
Oh, it is a long sword.
Okay. Kind of not interested then. Alright, well.
I don't appreciate you just calling out all my different items that I'm just stealing.
Yeah. Yeah. So, do they find me or what's up?
Yeah, they find you with these. It takes them a bit, but they do find that you're at a magic shop after hearing a rumor.
Rumor.
Go now.
Angelo would make his way to the magic shop.
Yeah, I'm kind of the talk of the town right now.
Hopefully with the others.
Nathanos would also follow.
The CO finally learned what follow meant and follows.
Nice.
Should I let Avery
I'm
back? Or should I just keep him exiled for the session?
You exiled him for
Well-
the session?
You should tell him this is being recorded, and you don't want that on the recording, right? Like what he's doing.
Yeah, I really don't.
So
Make sure to follow Twitch's TOS.
I don't think he's streaming.
I am.
What the fuck? Why aren't I getting notifications? Oh, I am. I'm just fucking blind. All right, that's nice.
Yeah, yeah, I feel that, man. So, yeah, they find you and they walk into the magic shop. Quite a few people outside, not quite entering, but
Looking through windows.
yeah, they're like, ooh, ooh, you know, right?
Mm-hmm. Whispering.
Yeah.
Mhm. Angelo will enter the shop.
Do we have a thief in the party? We do, don't we?
Isn't it you?
Well, I think Sky is as well. So if he was here, I could thieves camp to him while I'm just like pretending to fiddle with items. But
Angelo will just mostly kind of like eye at Glandall. And try to get his attention to talk somewhere a bit more private.
I mean, if I see you, I'm gonna walk over.
Yeah. Yeah, you see them enter the magic shop. The clerk at this point has gone in the back to go search
Yeah.
for some other items.
To appease the noble.
Basically, yeah.
I'm just gonna be fucking gone when he comes
All
back in.
stuff just missing. We're gone.
Repeat that again. You kind of cut out half at the end of
I
that.
said all of his stuff missing and we're just gone.
No.
We're not gonna steal stuff. We don't want to cause attention. We don't want attention.
What do you three need?
We kind of needed a description of the guy.
Well, he looks like yeah, as I repeat the image that's in general.
He describes the man to you.
And then we will be meeting an hour after sundown.
Where?
You know this.
You know the location.
It's
I, do,
Red
I didn't
Vine
know.
Forest.
We said tavern. I didn't know what. I didn't know.
It's a brewery, and it's a
Oh, brewery.
it's Red Vine's Hearth.
Got it.
I believe. I'm sure Chris knows.
It's the Red Vine's Hearth.
So, Chris, did any of the main roads actually like directly go to?
Directly?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a main road that goes right to it.
All right. Okay.
Or
So
rather,
we can assume he's likely to go through there.
basically, yeah.
And they'll basically go all right and kind of leave and usher the others to come with.
Yeah, I tried to
Well,
do that discreetly, by the way.
Yeah.
Whisper tones, yeah.
Yeah. And kind of making it look like idle conversation rather than...
Mischievous ones.
Well, rather than like, I know you.
Yeah.
Alright. Because also, if you don't remember, I told you not to be around me.
Yeah, well, we also kind of need to know what the guy also looks
No,
like.
yeah, I know. But I keep that in mind. I'm trying to not seem like I'm associated with you.
Angelo would try to usher the other two to come along with him outside the store.
Nathanos leaves the store.
I also leave the store.
Alright, as you all head out, you return to whence you came. It takes you about 30 minutes to get there by foot. And you are once more looking upon the Red Vine's hearth.
So, how exactly do we want to approach this?
Well, since it seems one of our companions went his own way for a little bit, I would recommend that at least we start near the guild house. Not all the way before he gets here, and then try to take him out once he gets here. That would be disastrous.
Keep in mind, we're still in public. We should probably not mention exactly what we're supposed to be doing.
You're in the
Yeah,
shady
so-
town. No one cares.
Well, I mean, if someone has information regarding, it'd be important.
Then would you like to go to a shady spot?
That, or we could just talk in semantics. So
Alright.
we'll go to a shady kind of back alley kind of place to get some privacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
You're now in an alleyway. You walk not too far away. It's about another 5 minutes before you find yourself in like a relatively shady looking alleyway. There's no one there, luckily for you, but still looks shady.
yeah. So we're gonna want to take them out near the. You mentioned we want to take them out near the guild house. Nathanos?
And no more
Riveting
speaking ever comes
conversation.
from Nathanos.
Nathanos.
And that's the end of our plan. Alright, let's go.
Tony.
Did I was my mic muted?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
God fucking
Sound is awkward. We're just like waiting for a
Somebody
response.
cast silence on your mic.
It was super
Alright.
effective.
Let's see. So I wouldn't recommend doing it near the guild house.
Well,
Once we get a good little way after trailing him,
yeah.
you could then use
You know, if
Antonya
he's
here.
in any form of like transport, you're gonna be much slower than him in that case.
Yeah.
Well, then at that point we would have to try to take the back routes and just try to get it as fast as possible.
We need to do him while he is. We need to get him.
We need to do one.
Okay.
You and your mom.
Alright.
But
So-
it would be better to actually get it when he's close to the guild house rather than the brewery.
Either near
Kinda
the
less
guild
effective.
house or halfway to the brewery.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the best time. Just get him into an
Um,
alleyway, and then from there I can just.
Alternatively, you guys could get a grappling hook and embed that in his flesh and pull him out of a transportation device.
I mean, what if it's a carriage though?
You pull him through a window.
I don't think they have that much skill.
Yeah, no.
Listen,
They
man,
might have that much strength, though.
I may have knowledge to know how to use a grappling hook, but I'm not. Don't use it as a weapon.
Why not?
I mean, also, I'm pretty certain that their windows are kind of. First off, they're kind of small. Second off, we would have to first embed the thing into his flesh.
Yeah.
And then we'd have to yank him out.
Crossbow grapple. hook.
I mean, I don't have a crossbow. Does anyone else
Keep in
here
mind, you don't know anything I'm saying, so.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
He's just giving you suggestions out of character.
Yeah.
So how do you want to draw him out of the main roads?
Nathanos just points to Antonya.
Okay.
Remember, you guys were going to use. The plan was, because you guys, I guess, assumed he'd be walking, that you would use a illusionary sigil ring to pull him off to the side and tell him he's in danger. Or reverse that.
We could still theoretically do that if he's in some form of transportation. We could stop him and handle
Right, but you need to look official.
it. Yeah, that is
Any
true.
of you look like noblemen?
I do.
No.
I do not at all.
Nathanos,
Or
you
you could look
I was
like
mostly being
messenger.
weird.
You look like a warrior,
Be
not
free.
a, not a.
I could
The
probably
bard
try
could
to
look like a
pass off with-
messenger, though.
I could try to pass off as a courier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I suppose so.
with a message only trusted to go by a word and not by a letter.
Yep. So we got that down. Likely gonna be with guards. So if we lure him to, so do we just want to lure him to like an alleyway or like,
Best place.
do we want to dispose of the body? That's another question.
That's what we were gonna do.
Wow.
Just want to double check on that one.
You guys were gonna
Oh.
frame urchins. Urchins somehow.
We could just leave the body there and then just one
It
clean
look like a mugging.
stab to the heart instead of
I
stabbing
mean,
more.
so if we leave the body, we can't leave any like evidence of that we were involved or any like small things, anything like that would.
We just can't look like efficient assassins.
So next question is what if that doesn't work and he gets away?
If he gets away, then that leads to just a simple arrow in the head.
Or alternatively, the guards get alerted.
That
What
too.
happens then?
But if he gets away, we have to run.
Well, no. What if he doesn't get away, but the guards are alerted?
It's another problem. We have witness. I mean, we could have some disguises. I have a few costumes, disguise kit we could work with.
Well, if we're framing urchins, then
Well, yeah. Well, if they come out alive, if someone is out as alive, they very much know we're not going to be urchin. So we probably should not, do this in a regular appearance.
Well,
alright.
you guys aren't supposed to be acting like urchins. You're just supposed to make the crime scene look like urchins.
Yes, the
Yeah.
problem we're coming up. Well, yeah, I know, but we're just taking. I'm trying to say we should take extra precautions just in case if someone gets away or witnesses the crime.
Our prime objective is to make sure he doesn't.
Well, yeah.
So
but
I
we
could
still
just
need-
simply
still
hold
need to
him
take
down.
precautions if it does happen. Where are you? You have to be right back. I need to
Alright, then go.
walk my
Just go.
walk my dog.
You have to walk your dog at 11 p.m. at night.
Yes, I know.
Walk it onto a bag.
Anyhow,
Or better yet, walk it into a pot.
do you have any suggestions, Antonya?
Nah, I'm not really the plan maker here. I'm just here to go along with whatever they do and assist them in any way that they need me to. I'm not the
How
idea
big are your tits?
person.
How fat are those tits?
Whatever the PNG looks like.
I don't know. What
Are they bonkers, badonkers,
No,
bahonkers?
not at all. She's actually like maybe got a B cup, man.
Bro.
Maybe. Pretty shit.
I can attract anybody.
What a letdown.
Unless the merchant is a flat as justice person.
He wouldn't be. Well.
We gotta wait on the plan to be made before they can sort of do things, you know?
Yeah, and the problem is doing the actual plan.
We're kind of down a few people.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're missing
That's
3
why I'm
people who are in
hoping-
the plan.
That's why I was hoping, the DM could be lenient with us since we're missing half the party.
I mean, I'm certainly not going to be harsh. But this
we,
was
we know
never
you're
going to be.
GMing.
This was never going to be an easy mission.
Oh yeah, great to have less people then.
It's just going to be a little more difficult. The numbers aren't going
I
to be
don't
the
know
same.
about a little.
The numbers aren't going
Uh-oh.
to be the same at all, but
I feel like even having one more extra person would make things a lot easier.
probably, yeah.
Because I was supposed to have our brawler here help me, and now I have to.
Well, you're gonna have the other two there.
Yes, the bard and Antonya, who needs to be the one to lure the merchant in, and then I
Doesn't
can
mean he
just go.
can't attack when it's the time to.
Yeah.
Or alternatively, once you guys are behind an alley, you could
Well, I mean, once we're behind the alley, all I need to do is just knock him out, and then just
right, and then
stab,
minor
stab, stab.
illusion not there, and hide for a bit. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because either way, I'm going to be in the alley waiting with a knife.
Right. Well, another thing is, I have to play it off like I was there for a legit reason. So I have to be worried and leave. So it's not like I'm going to be readily available to escape. But honestly, I'm not worried about being incriminated, because multiple reasons. I don't know though. Might have to bullshit my way out of some guards. Da, 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 da. I don't know, Chris. The fuck do you expect us to do?
I don't know, I'm waiting on Riley to get back so we can discuss
Yeah.
more details.
Well, what the fuck other details would there be to discuss?
I don't know, man.
The details.
I'm back.
Speaking of which,
What did I miss?
nothing.
really. We were waiting on you.
Alright. So we were on disguises.
I mean, really, we just need to be like. Most of us should be hooded. Especially,
I mean, obviously.
well, yeah. Especially the CL for
The small tittied seal? Yeah.
obvious reasons.
Alright. Well, I'll be waiting in the back alleyway with a knife. I at least need you or Antonia to lure the merchant in so I can. Nathanos just holds up the knife.
All right, that could work. Right. Okay. I guess we'll just try to tell him. From the guild hall. Do we want to have
Well, if I'm staying in the alleyway,
Well, yeah,
you at
I
least
know,
need to
I know. What I'm
get
trying to
that
say.
designated alleyway.
Yeah, I know. That's what we should find now is a designated alleyway to like lure the guy in.
Mm-hmm. Well, are you still going with that signet plan as a messenger?
Probably.
Alright.
Wait, Chris,
So-
I have an out of context question.
Yes.
All the sigils of like the 5 houses are like common knowledge, yeah.
Yes.
All right.
They're very important houses, so yes.
To anyone politically inclined, yes.
So let's just go find the alleyway, probably at the halfway point
Mhm.
between the two.
So, are we going to get him at the early point, or are we going to get him at the middle point?
We're gonna probably get him in the middle.
Okay, then let's look around there.
All right, so you head away from the Red Vine area, and you scurry off along towards separate areas. You end up finding yourself towards what appears to be a side path in the just a bit far from the bridge, maybe a few about 130 meters or so from the bridge. Just across a large square and an alleyway between some shops. The area looks relatively shady overall, however, it is in a decently wealthy part of the city, not too far away from the harbor district along the main road.
If we do it here, we gotta be. We're likely gonna have to be quick and make sure not many people make noise.
Well, obviously.
Well, yeah.
That's
Plans is good point at
one
the
of the
office.
locations you found.
Do we have any better? Do we have any better locations?
Wait, where did you say we were?
You
What
guys,
time is it?
What time is it? It's about 3 p.m.
We
Okay,
got
so
a few
have a
time
bit.
to find a better
Yeah.
location.
And
Let's
you
keep it.
have until about 6 p.m. before you, or about 5:30 before you need to be in location.
Yeah, yeah. So we have a few time. Let's go search. Let's see if there's a better location. If not, we'll just fall back on that one.
Roll
Yeah.
investigate. Not many of you are familiar with this whole stabbing people in back alleys thing.
You to me.
Maybe not you guys.
Oh, oh.
Yeah, Riley, you have no clue. You don't see anything better. Does anybody else want to roll investigate?
Yeah,
I'll
sure,
do
I'll
that.
roll.
Not you.
Roll.
I'll roll.
Might as well.
Oh yeah, the elf, the sea elf.
All right,
Common practice.
both of you find a actually pretty good spot while you're searching around. You find it at around the same time. You both like sort of come upon it and see, oh, this place is great. So it is about a 5-minute walk from where you were before. You end up coming upon an area about 5-minute walk from the guild hall. The area is along the main road, but it's in a much denser area, much denser district, right?
All right.
So it's basically in a place that sort of can, hide you a bit better. The caveat to this is that there is no close by, well, the buildings are much closer to you, so you have to be a bit quieter. However, there's also a manhole next to you to hide in or scurry into. You haven't looked inside or anything, however, you do know that it at least leads to some form of sewer system, likely.
Where we can hide.
Or run.
Drive the body.
Yeah.
All right, all right.
Oh shit.
The important facts here.
All right. So, Thanos, you're gonna wait here, and then me and the CEO will count.
Yeah, I'll be here. Make sure when he gets back here, make at least some sort of noise.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, at 5:30, I head over to the meeting spot and I
You sit down.
fucking wait.
All right. So, as
Like
you
a snapping sound.
as you all get into positions, the sun sets and night falls. It is now 5:45. You hear a cart moving along the road towards you. Through the snow, you can hear the hooves clapping against what sounds like the cobbles underneath.
Angelo Barrosa's gonna have like a cloak from one of his costumes,
All
which
right.
is just a basic cloak.
Roll disguise kit. Or are you just wearing a cloak?
She's just wearing a cloak.
All right. As you hear it, it keeps on getting closer and closer. Until it is finally what it sounds like not even 10 meters past the alleyway that you are currently within. Or rather, you guys are out on the road, correct?
Angelo's gonna try to run out and basically just hail its attention,
Alright.
asking the carriage to stop.
As you run out, you see that the carriage is surrounded by 4 people on horses, alongside 1 man in the cart, or alongside 2 men within a carriage. One of them appearing to be the merchant that was described to you, and another an unknown man of what appears to be some form of mercenary figure. The man driving the cart says to you, "Who are you to hail us?" as he stops the cart, and overall the entire thing stops.
I'm a messenger. I have a grave message for your master
I see.
that needs to be dealt with the utmost cautiousness.
Roll persuasion. Let me look at something.
I got a backup line.
Alright. He seems to be a little suspicious of you, but says, "Alright, He turns back to the sort of carriage behind him and opens it and says, "Master Zenzor, we have a messenger for you." Zenzor then slowly steps out alongside a man of very tall figure. He looks like very bulky, strong. On his belt appears to be some form of mace, and he appears to be of a sort of leadership role. And they both step up to you and say, and Zenzor says, "How can I help you?"
I have a grave message I need to to tell you in private, and Angelo will put his kind of like he will try to as quietly as possible cast precipitation, whisper its vocal, and like keep his hand hidden to create a non-magical trinket, a illusionary signet ring of House Haker.
And how long does that last?
Until the end of my next turn.
So 6 seconds.
Well, no, it lasts this turn, and then the next turn.
So 12 seconds.
So 12 seconds. And Angelo is just gonna kind of flash it, and then kind of put it away.
Roll deception.
I feel like that would be advantage, right? Because this is
With
supposed to
advantage.
be from his boss,
With advantage.
right? I don't know. You don't wanna.
Jesus Christ.
I don't even have to roll a perception check for him. There's no way he can succeed. Zenzor then says, Of course, of course." He then says, "Where would you like to go? I'm en route to a very important meeting, so this better be quick."
It is a very quick message, however, and we we do not want any unnecessary ears to listen in. He kind of tries to lead him, tries to lead him to the alleyway, or try to.
He then says, "Get in the carriage. We can use that and move along there. Nobody will disturb us while we're on the route."
What I thought. Stabs him. Right now.
Get raped.
I'm afraid we cannot do that now. We may have. He kind of goes into whisper into him and says we may have threats within, and traitors within our midst.
I can assure you that the man next to me is trustworthy, and they will not be able to hear us outside, as long as we keep our voices down.
All right. First, I need to grab an associate. He carries the warning.
Okay.
Hey man, he got a deception of 20, what?
Four.
24?
And the man's just gonna say, go right on ahead. I will remain here.
How the fuck are you gonna kill him when he's...
Oh god.
Every action that I've done thus far makes complete sense. Even with
no, yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does.
I'm
It's
just
just like,
going,
shit.
oh, that'll suck.
You forgot to account for many variables, it seems.
Yeah.
No.
Go.
Immediately after it started, I was like, what if we invite them in the carriage?
Angelo is gonna go back. He's gonna retrieve Nathanos. He's gonna tell Antonya to simply just tail the carriage, but very discreetly, and then he's gonna go and he's gonna bring Nathanos with him.
All right.
Wait, I want to do an interaction real quick though. So wait, you're going into the alleyway to grab me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. At least tell me what happens.
Okay, so he wants us in the carriage to deliver the message.
You're fucking kidding me, right?
Let's go.
You gonna try to kill him in the carriage?
We're gonna have to kill him. Okay, so listen, the plan is we kill him in the carriage and we leave no witnesses. Got it?
Okay. Well, obviously the carriage driver can see in the fucking carriage, right?
Yeah, let's go.
Fucking hell. Alright.
I know, fucking hell. So, Angelo's basically gonna drag out Nathanos.
Alright.
I mean-
behind him.
Am I allowed to give input? Do you want me to be able to
You're
give
free
input?
to give input.
Yeah.
Okay. Or you could take him to the meeting room and we could just like...
Well, I mean, if we take him to the meeting room, wouldn't it be suspicious that you're alive?
That I'm alive?
That you were there.
Yeah, so that you were there.
Well, you can just kill him fucking after.
That is true. We could do that as well.
And also, why would he take you to the meeting room?
He wouldn't take you inside.
Yeah. But if I see him, I'd be like, oh. But yeah, you can always, after giving the message, because you don't...
We
Because
don't
it
have
doesn't
to.
need to be true, right?
Okay.
You can just tell him. He now believes you. So,
fair enough.
and then
Okay,
you can kill him afterwards.
Okay, you know what? We'll go with that one. Nathanos.
So-
better. We tell him the message and then we kill him after the meeting.
Alright.
And you just... I'll just have the meeting. But... Hey, yeah.
So Angelo's gonna take Nathanos, and they're quickly gonna try to board the carriage.
Alright. Yeah, let's go. So we get on the carriage.
All right, yeah. As you walk back, as you walk back out, he sort of looks at you and he says, "How can I help you? Is this your associate?"
Yes, this is our associate that carries the warning that they may not be a traitor within our midst.
Oh, outside of character. Fuck you, Riley.
Kind of just like he kind of gives like his associate, like Nathanos Angelo kind of eyes Nathanos to. You should
Talk.
make him shut up.
Yeah. Let me think for a moment.
Gotta think quickly now.
I know. I wasn't planning on giving a message.
Well, then
Set
that someone
timer 2
seeks.
minutes.
Oh fucking hell.
Okay, first off, okay. Am I allowed to give input?
Yeah.
Like out of character
Yeah.
to Tony?
Man,
Alright.
I was allowed to give you a whole new plan. I feel
Okay,
like
well,
it's
I just
time.
wanted to make sure that
Yeah.
now that we're in, like, now that we're here, Tony, just tell him that someone's planning, trying to kill him, and they're
Alright.
trying to use someone inside the guild.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, Nathanos sits in a very noble position, looking towards Master Zenzor.
Well, you don't even need to look noble. You look like the dude that would be trusted to carry out this message.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Master Zenzor, there is a traitor within our midst. Someone's out to kill you.
From within the guild, Tony.
Yeah, from within the guild.
Roll deception.
Thank
he's
God.
sitting next to a guy that got a 24 in deception.
Crit.
That is a natural 20 with +4. Oh
Damn.
my.
Tell them you also don't know who they are, but they're working on finding out who.
We're looking to figure out who's after you. We just need a bit of time, but I figured it'd be fair to give you a heads up.
Well, it would have been better for you to come to me with some more information than this. However, it will have to do.
We wanted to make sure you knew before something terrible might happen.
Yes, if you'd be willing, if you could stay on standby with my guards while I head into the meeting with with a very important official of House Dayspring, I will.
What if I kill him?
Oh no!
No, he believes it's in the guild. So there's literally no reason for him to believe it's me, but it'd be so funny.
Yeah, but then we have to deal with getting the body out of the thing, and then we have to deal
No,
with...
I wouldn't. I'd just tip the lady, because I've done this before with her.
Wait,
Don't worry about it.
okay.
Perhaps you could even accompany me as representatives of House Hager.
God damn it, Cal.
Hey.
Alright.
If that is what you would like, it would be our pleasure.
I feel that
Nathan,
Antonya
it's
is
not.
being very left out here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I'm just following behind the carriage, like, you know,
I mean,
without seeming
you're not
suspicious.
following at like a slow pace either. They're not moving slow. So you have to like jog to keep up with them.
This fucking CO
Is there a way to?
running.
Listen, you might be better off straight up just
Are we
going.
near like? Is like the road near water?
Yeah.
Is there a way I can just kind of like stealthily like try and keep up by swimming in the water?
I mean, it's not that close to water.
Fuck.
Well, you know where the location is, so it's not like you need to run there. Right? You can just walk and then just like sit around outside to see how the situation progresses.
Yo, I did not. I was not thinking this fully 100% through when we were planning this.
That will be your downfall.
Oh, watch.
Really, I
No.
thought this thing you might have become a common occurrence, but all right.
It's probably about to get like even better.
Yo, I just like to think that like Glandall is sitting and then he sees us. He sees both Zenzor and I come and me and Tony come in.
Alright, so I guess we end up going to the meeting.
We're gonna go.
Yeah. As you all head out of your, as you all are moving along the road, the sea elf does take a dive into the water. It is very cold. And you swim across the river and climb up onto the other shore. After a bit of trial and error. And you arrive slightly ahead of them. About by a minute and a half. And they roll up not too long after. He then stands up and slowly... Zenzor slowly steps out of the carriage as they stop. He then says to his guards, You are going to go inside and sit at the tables. Act natural.
Understood.
He's saying this to his guards.
All of the guards?
One of you, he points to the one sitting on the, place where the guard, the front of the carriage. And he says, You are to stay near the carriage. Sit near a fire or something. Just don't freeze to death.
What the fuck? This is supposed to be a private business meeting. You bring fucking 4 guards in?
Technically 5.
Well, no, he's leaving 1 outside.
Yeah, well, he's bringing in.
There was 4 outside and 1 in there. He's leaving 1
so
outside.
but also technically including us as well.
Yeah.
So 6.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Me expecting maybe 2 people to roll in. Fucking 6 guys.
I mean, they're not all gonna go inside with you. I can assure you.
So.
Oh, okay. He said go in and sit down.
Go in and sit down at the tables in the main room.
Oh, okay.
So here's the real question: do we want to kill him tonight, or do we want to leave this going forward a tiny bit more?
If we leave it going for a tiny bit more, he's going to have time to prepare.
Yes.
Now he fully believes he's about to be killed.
Yes.
Right. And so he's going to start suspecting people and ramping up his guard force. So we need to now deal with it before.
That is true. However, we could also use that as an opportunity to become part of his.
We were given no time
Trusted.
frame, to be fair, but we were say to do it fast before my father-in-law figured it out.
Right. All right.
And I feel like news that I'm in town might bring some attention. So
we're gonna kill him tonight. Is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
or tomorrow.
Or tomorrow.
Preferably tonight.
All right.
If we had thought that it would progress to this point, I would have gotten a slow-acting poison.
Well,
And
I mean, things kind of got a bit derailed for the plan.
Yeah, alright. Let's go.
What plant now?
Don't
Now we're
worry about it.
improvising.
That's what you two can figure out while I'm having a meeting with him.
Yeah, alright. So he slowly walks in, and he motions to his captain to follow him, as he says to the 2 of you, You all are free to sit outside, or come with me. It's your decision.
Preferably, I would like to join you to ensure
I will be out here.
for my lord.
Yes. He then walks along with decent pace as he sort of finds himself entering, walking through. Let me actually get the thing for y'all now. Let me get y'all onto the right tab.
Ah, nice. Do I have big table?
You are right here.
Yeah!
Uh,
How do I place my token?
I don't remember.
You click on your picture and you drag it, you click on your character name, drag it, and then place.
Okay.
What the fuck?
So, Chris, I have a quick question for you.
Yeah.
So I have a spell.
It's
That's
not working.
its only element for casting is voice, and the question about it. So it has a range of 60 feet, and theoretically, could I whisper? Said
Yes,
Said
you
spell.
could.
And I'm trying to figure out if the person would know or not know if I casted it or not.
What is it?
What's the spell?
Dissonant whispers. You whisper a discordant melody that only one creature of your choice within range can hear, racking it with terrible pain. The target must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, it takes 3d6 psychic damage and must immediately use its reaction, if available, to move as far as its speed allows away from you. The creature doesn't move into obviously dangerous ground, such as a fire or a pit.
It
On a
would.
successful
Does
save, the
it
target
say
takes...
they know afterwards? Because for the charm spells, it says.
No, I don't believe it does.
So they don't know you, but they know they want to get away from you.
Yes.
So you made this table off fucking center.
So, Chris, would the person know or not?
They would have to pass a perception check.
That's not what I meant. I meant vertically.
Oh, that was on purpose.
Oh. Okay.
No.
And pretty much just a fuck you.
So are you guys gonna place your tokens and enter with me, or?
Nathanos is right here.
So I'm on the outside.
Where are we?
How do
Like,
we do that
how
again?
tall is the building? Like 2-3 stories?
It's a 2-story building.
How do we place
Two-story
this thing on
building?
the map?
Dimensions.
So go over to the journal section and then grab and place your name onto the map.
No, I'm not even gonna try it.
There you
It's
go.
already been placed on the map. You're fine.
So you're gonna be at the table, right?
In...
So in here.
Right.
Oh, hold on. I didn't see the full picture.
All right. Anyone else at the table, or?
That's everyone.
No, really? He's not bringing his garden?
No.
So, Cal, you see a hood figure along with him.
Yes, he enters. Nathanos, you can.
I would have wine set up
Prepared.
already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you both are sat across the table from one another, as you're sat on the far side of the room, he slowly enters, and behind him is a hooded figure in a cloak. You're not quite sure of his identity. He then sits across from you and he says, "Do not mind him. He is just my associate. He will not be bothering us during this discussion."
He kind of gives like a light bow. He gives a bow, a light bow.
I tilt my head to him as I'm already sitting down. And I, well then. Have you brought the proper documents to discuss your taxes?
Yes. He goes into a bag that he has on his, sort of wrapped around his shoulder. He puts it down onto the table, and he pulls out a series of documents, tax forms, and other such necessary things. And he places them down onto the table and then slides them across towards you.
I start looking at them as I say, my father has been suspecting or my father-in-law, pardon me, has been suspecting some outside influence on our workers, so he sent me today, as he trusts me more than his normal people.
Yes, of course. I did not.
I'm looking it over.
I do not worry about why you've been asked to do this.
Very well. I'm looking it over. Any wishes about your taxes that you would like me to relay?
Yes. Other than the fact that I believe that they are a bit extreme at times, you know. The
Of
tax
course.
forms regarding the guild are a guild matter on a higher level. It may come out of my treasury, but not my problem most of the time. You'll get the most complaints from higher up staff.
I'm looking at the details on everything.
Yeah.
So,
Roll investigate.
why?
Are you gonna search for anything like out of place or just?
I mean, I could. Yeah, I'd definitely be scrutinous of it. But I'm also just generally just.
Curious? Do you want me to like tell you? Like,
Yeah,
what
I'm
section
trying
was?
to look at the details and look at how everything is taxed and stuff.
All right. So in regards to
Because
taxation,
this isn't information I'm usually pertinent to.
yeah, no,
But for my investigation on.
out of
Oh,
place,
do I have to use Roll20 or can I use my dice?
you can use your dice.
Yeah.
You get a +1.
Oh, fuck.
What'd you
I
get?
rolled a 19.
you
Real
did?
dice. So
Alright.
20.
All right. From what you could tell, there's only one thing that seems to be a little out of place.
Mhm.
There's a bit of a flow in that seems a little odd from foreign, or from a specific merchant that goes by the name of. Give me a second.
I'm so happy I rolled high on this.
You got an unnatural 20.
Yeah. I was betting to roll like a 2.
Yeah. Because it just has like every name of a bunch of people.
Right, and it had the general taxation and the rates and
Yeah.
everything.
It,
So,
it has a bunch of income.
I'm looking at the
information.
amounts and
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
There's just an odd amount of income from a figure that appears to be named Cyrillan Exalium. I will post the name in campaign.
Oh, I
deck.
have an idea what that is. Like
That
we
name.
just money from Houseacre.
So I kind of stop on that page.
And do you regard
So
it?
as you, hold on. So as you know, I did not grow up in the house. However, in the past few years, I've been learning the craft and how to be a good lord. Yes.
Yes, yes, of course.
And it's like it's not like stapled or anything, right? I can move the different.
Yeah, no, it's
pages.
just a bunch of papers
Alright.
in
Yeah,
various,
and then I put that on
various
that paper on
logbooks.
top. Yeah, I put that paper on top.
Yeah, all right.
So can you explain the amount from this Siluran?
Yes.
Siluran.
Yes, Cyril. She is an interesting figure. I'm not too familiar with her. I work with her on occasion. She is an elf character. I'm not sure of the exact diminutive of her elfhood, but I do know that she does rack in an odd amount of money. I myself am not quite sure why, but it is certainly interesting. This figure.
Alright, that's an check.
What?
Continue what you're saying, but I'm gonna roll insight.
Oh, insight. Yeah. I'm not
So continue.
100% on exactly what she is up to most of the time. How she gets in so much money. However, she pays all of her guild fees and all of the what the fuck is it called? I know all of her fencing fees very, very well. And wherever she gets this income and whenever she marks it down, I'm not quite 100% sure what she's doing there. He then regards a few other names that you didn't. This one name kind of distracted you. He then says, "There's a few other characters," and he like lists out a few names. These members are certain higher members of staff that have generally higher incomes. So those are not out of the ordinary.
I see. And then I got a 14 on insight.
And from what you could tell, he's telling the truth.
Okay. I see.
Chris, may I ask one more question?
Yes.
This is the mercenary guy, right?
He is the location master.
He is the location master of the guild, the Raymond Merchants Guild, which is the Raymond Merchant family. It's owned by the Raymond Merchant family.
So I got a question. Where was the mercenary from before?
The mercenary?
Yeah, the one that was in the carriage with us that knows
Oh.
about the.
I think
is
he's right
outside.
here.
Yeah, that's him right there.
It's him right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's him.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure of that.
Yeah.
Is the door currently open or is that enough?
No, it's closed.
No.
You can
No.
hear through it, but just a tad. Depending on how muted they're being.
Yeah.
Which they're not talking at a loud volume, but they're not talking very quietly because it's just tax stuff right now.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't need to. I see. Well, that explains all that I've seen.
Yes, yes.
And then I hand back the papers. You seem to be bookkeeping up to date and everything. Now
It
then.
is part of my duties.
Shall we have dinner?
Ah, yes, of course, of course. If you do not mind, my associate here will also be eating with us. I will, of course, cover any fees that he incurs.
Very well. I see why
Oh,
not.
so he gets free food. Okay.
Yeah. Hey man, you're a guard.
Mhm.
You're essentially a guard for a message.
Hey, at least you get to be inside, not outside, shivering
At
cold because of your
least.
poor decisions.
Yeah.
You could
At least
walk
you didn't
inside.
douse yourself in water and then are gonna be waiting outside in the dark
You could go
in
walk
an alleyway.
inside.
Make sure you don't
Actually,
get
about
hypothermia.
It is a
About
restaurant.
that-
You can go inside.
Yeah. I would like ring the bell.
Just like go up to the front desk and like ring the bell, and then somebody will get to you. I'm sure. Why have you not done this
No,
yet?
I'm going to pull
because
the.
they've been having their time. I'm just waiting.
Do you want to go
Right
inside?
on. All right, I'll do it.
Do you want to go inside?
But yes, I'll walk inside and ring the bell at the front desk.
Actually, I'll wait for next time Cal talks. That'll probably be the best way to do it.
Yes. As you do that, a woman. What was her name, Cal?
What the fuck? Huh?
The person that you know.
Oh
the
fuck! I don't fucking know.
bruh.
I don't. I randomly came up with a name.
I expect you to remember all
Laura. Just be a Laura.
It's Laura now.
I thought it was
Laura.
Rosa at first.
Rosa.
I thought it was Rosa. Was it not
Okay,
Rosa?
Rosa then.
Let's go with Rosa. We're retconning whatever the previous name was. It's Rosa now.
Yep.
A woman goes over to the desk that you stood before. Well, it's more like a bar, but it's got like a bartender behind it. But she walks over and she says, "Hi, I'm Rosa. How can I help you today or tonight, miss?"
Come on, try to do a female voice.
No. We tried that last session.
I know it was funny.
And I'm
It
not
was
doing that again.
good.
I'm not
You
doing
should
that
do
again.
it.
No.
It was really good.
No.
It was very convincing.
Shut up.
Alright.
Yes, can I get something to eat and perhaps a warm place to stay?
She looks a little confused, and then she says, "You realize this is like a restaurant, right?"
Well, do you know of a place to stay nearby?
There's an inn not too far away. You could just come inside and have a meal and sit at a table. It's relatively warm in here. It's like 70
Right.
degrees inside. There's a big fire that's keeping the place warm.
Celsius.
No. That you would be
We're all
dying.
baking.
You would be dying.
I know.
Can I have a seat by the fire and something to eat, please?
Yes, that'll be 1 gold and 5 silver.
Oh, fuck. Can I just hand her 2 gold pieces?
Yeah, she hands you 5 silver back. You are then moved over to a table over there. And are left there. Not too long after, about 5 minutes, a meal is provided for you. And it is actually a very nice meal. It has a nice glass of wine next to it, and a meal on a fine plate instead of a wooden plate. It is ceramic, which is expensive. What appears to be metal fork. You also on the plate is a fine steak, alongside some what appears to be stewed vegetables,
Why the fuck is my whole thing on?
and a fine piece of bread. And that is your meal.
So I just begin to eat, and as I'm eating, I look around to see if I can notice anything out of the ordinary.
You don't even need to roll perception for this. You realize that there are 4 guards inside of the room, sort of scattered about. And otherwise, no, everything appears to be normal.
As I eat, I quickly down the glass of wine and ask for another one.
They pour you out another one.
And then I just keep drinking and asking for more.
You're eventually told no after the 3rd glass.
I try to bribe them for more wine.
Roll persuasion.
Well, fuck.
No.
Fuck.
So, Chris, I have a question.
Yes.
Are we currently? So it's only just the 3 of us in the room right now, right?
Yes.
All right. So Angelo is gonna wait for the next opportunity for Glandall to talk, and when he does, he will whisper an incantation of dissonant whispers upon Zenzor.
Why?
Yeah.
Are we not gonna murder him here?
Well,
Why?
I was gonna say,
Okay.
after drinking the wine and then being refused to be served more, I'm gonna try and cause a scene to distract all the guards, since I know they're meeting here, and try and give them time to do something inside
That's
the
Why?
meeting area.
Think about it this way. Think about it. Think about it this way. Do we think his health is above 8?
No.
Okay then. Well, I have potential damage. I can deal potentially psychic damage of 3d6.
Unless his health is like 9.
But if you kill him via psychic damage, and he dies instantly, we could then call in
Why the fuck would I want him dead on my hands? This is a public figure. I am a public figure. He works for my father-in-law.
Technically, he doesn't work for you. He works for a guild that is within your father-in-law's cities, and he pays taxes.
He's
to
a
it.
Big.
See. The
But
thing
he's
is,
important in the city.
I can tell especially the mercenary who's with him, that you didn't do anything.
We could just knock Cal out.
Fuck.
We could also have you fake unconsciousness. Though, I think it would be better.
They know, the people in this town know Cow's character better than that. He's not squeamish.
No, I literally duel people publicly.
Yeah. So
you would get stabbed, is what would happen.
We could tell them. See, the mercenary guy trusts me, right? I could tell them that you did nothing wrong.
Or, well, the mercenary character doesn't necessarily trust you, but Zenzor does.
Yeah. Zenzor is the one that trusts you. You charmed him. You didn't charm the guards.
Yeah.
Do we want to kill him outside or inside? Let's ask that question.
I don't know. Not next to me. Not literally 25 feet in front of me.
I could play
In the
off as a
same
witness.
room while I'm conscious and talking to him.
I could play off as a witness.
Then why would I not be killed?
I can say that you didn't do anything.
Just.
Later, yes,
Then
nay.
how would he have died?
We don't know.
Why are you trusted first? Hold on. Why is your word counted more than mine? And if I'm suspicious, why wouldn't you be?
All right, we can kill him somewhere else.
Anyway, I ring the bell in the room, or I pull the rope that tied to the bell, that we want food.
Yeah, it's basically the food bell. Yeah, it doesn't take very long before two waiters come in fine clothes. They put before you two, or well, you three, a plate that has a large roasted turkey leg with a set of a very nice piece of bread, alongside a thing in between you with like just bread on it and like fine butter, and then also on the plate is a potato halved, well not halved, but like split in the middle, with a decadent amount of butter and chives and a bunch of other things in it, alongside some fine vegetables. Of course, food fit for nobles.
Yeah, I eat slowly, and I assume he's gonna ask me things,
Yes,
because
he is. Zenzor is then going to proceed. Starts to eat as well, but in between some of his bites, he begins to start to ask you. I wouldn't have asked this if we didn't have spare time on our hands, but what brought about your father even asking to have me here?
well, he wanted to check how much he could trust our usual messenger. And thus he sent me, and I shall go report that mostly everything seems fine.
Interesting.
As we talked about the 4 numbers that seem to be odd, those
Yeah.
will be reported.
Yes, I understand. Feel free. I could have, tomorrow I could set up a meeting between you and between the elf, Cerdin. If I set that up for you, then we could, of course, get right down to business.
This was more a test to see if the numbers we were being given by the individual my father hired is accurate, rather than a test of you. Though I was also asked to make sure all the numbers seem correct.
Yes, of course. I understand.
Think of it as a impromptu test of sort, to make
Yes.
sure you are up to date.
It's simple requirements of, the state. I understand. But I am surprised that he did send his own son rather than one of his trusted advisors. It's
Well,
more atypical
he
of
is,
him.
as I said earlier, he's dealing with some concerns on the inside. So his advisors are busy.
Are you supposed to be telling me this?
I married his daughter, not him. As I kind of shrug.
I suppose that is true. I do not I choose to not get myself too involved in such affairs.
I only know a base amount, not much. So, not much information I could divulge anyway. I haven't been around recently.
Yes, I understand. Yes, I've heard that you were, I believe it was headed towards the Duke's, the Duke's castle. Am I correct?
Yes, he asked me over for some wine.
Well, surely you are
Sorry.
much a famous figure.
It was quite the estate. You should have been there. It would have been welcoming for your type.
Yes. Well, I choose not to get too involved in noble politics, as I myself am from a land that comes with a lot of strife from such factors. I do find the politique within the realm quite intriguing, and the Duke himself quite a character, from what I've heard. He would have
Indeed
been
he
wonderful
is.
to meet, I'm sure.
Well, even if it was only for business matters, you could have met him for establishing further trade.
Ah, yes. Well, there is a Raymond Merchants Guild within that city. I am not
Yeah.
too familiar with the Duke himself. Maybe perhaps when I get promoted next, I will have a chance. However, I am currently still only a location master. Perhaps you'd like
Who
to
knows?
hear a tale about where I come from, since we're simply enjoying a nice dinner together.
Go ahead, Khajiit man. Tell me about where you come from.
Look, I get I sound like a Khajiit, but that's the accent I'm putting on.
Yeah, tell me about your skooma trading. Go ahead.
Well, back where I come from, it's very common to get, at least for the merchants, it's very strugglesome, because conflict between the three places within my region quite hefty. You often find yourself dealing with quite a bit of trouble. I originally was not a part of the Raymond Merchants Guild. I found myself independent, of course. I wasn't wealthy by any means back then. I didn't start as a part of the family or anything, or even at all related. However, it was upon when I was going to Zenzor many years ago, during one of my rough periods, that I truly began to make some money. I found that the Raymond Merchants Guild did impose some tariffs on me, and when I went to go speak to the location master, he waved me off and said, "It's just business." However, I did learn that it would probably be beneficial to me if I started to associate myself with them. This isn't me advocating for the Raymond Merchants Guild or anything. However, it is not to be forgotten that they do have quite a bit of influence within the port cities that they have. The Raymond Merchants Guild is wealthy. It has ties to many noble families. And so it's good to have them on your side. That is why I chose to align myself with them back then. And when I did, I found that I benefited quite a bit more from my trade routes. And eventually, I became a full-on associated merchant. I practically forgo my homeland. Because the wealth that I got from the Raymond Merchants Guild was simply better in most ways. I'm sure that this doesn't sound too intriguing to a man who much prefers a nice duel over a nice business deal. However, I did make quite a bit of wealth at first.
He gives a slight chuckle.
Yes, I found myself into quite a bit of wealth over the time. And eventually, as I worked my way up, I became the location master of this place. While it wasn't my first choice, as it was quite far from my home and I did not get many merchants from there, I oftentimes get merchants from the Grey Secret Empire rather than, and within the realm, of course, rather than foreign, or rather than from Runeshield or Dawnfellow. However, the wealth gain cannot be denied, and it is quite important. So I must ask you, how did you find yourself to be marrying the Count's daughter, if you do not mind me asking?
Well, that is quite the tale.
Perhaps another time, then.
Yes, it would take hours to divulge with all the webs of information I had to jump through.
Yes. Perhaps another time when we get dinner together. I quite enjoy
Yes.
this relationship. Yeah, despite it
Do you
being-
now?
Yes. I do believe it to be not only beneficial personally, you do not seem to be all that bad of a person to engage with, at least. I do know that you have quite a bit of a temper, though. I'm choosing to stay on your good side for that reason.
Yes. It is always intimidating for merchants, at least, to meet me. They worry that I might put a hole in their stomach.
Yes.
And to give them credit, I have in the past, so it is not unwarranted, but that was years ago.
Yes.
You said that merchants align themselves with nobles, correct?
Oftentimes, yes, they find themselves aligning with different noble families.
Perhaps I could create a understanding if you've aligned yourself with anyone outside of the city, and it would start up a conversation.
Ah, yes, yes.
Do you have anyone?
I personally have not. However, some of my associates in the upper merchant staff have begun associating themselves with uh, the main house, the Duke of, fuck, what's his name? Give me a second.
Taker?
House Hager. I personally am not involved in the proceedings and choose to stay out of the affairs. However, the wealth they seem to bring in is rather high. I am quite suspicious of them myself, if you want me to be honest. I don't know if I trust them 100%.
Hmm. So,
I'm
that
surprised
could
you're not
explain
asking
why.
to roll insight for that.
Well,
No insight for that.
I mean, hold on. I know that's a lie.
Roll insight.
I don't need to roll insight. I've been told that's true. Or that's a lie.
You've been told that Zenzor is
By my
believed-
employer, I've been told. Alright,
Zenzor-
fine, I'll roll insight. I'll
I
roll
roll
insight.
insight as well.
Yeah, I'm
Yes,
gonna
you may
roll
both roll
insight.
insight.
Ah, that wasn't too good.
But Riley got it.
Glandall,
He's from what you're almost 100% he's telling the truth.
13. Do I know?
You're pretty sure he's telling the truth.
I mean, even if I rolled under it, it would still be I believe him.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, you're pretty sure he's telling the truth here. He's not bullshitting you.
Yeah. So that would
I'm
explain.
certain he's telling the truth, right?
Yeah, you're pretty much certain that he's telling the truth. You have maybe
that would
1% of
explain
doubt
it.
because Jackson Trudeau told you that he believed that Zenzor was related, but he was not 100% on that himself. There's a reason he sent you. More for just the killing. Which, killing
Yeah.
Zenzor would have dealt with the problem either way, or at least to a degree, especially if you kill the upper staff. But,
Oh, hold on. Hold on. Give me the names of that were super high on the taxes.
oh,
Because
yes.
that would be who it is.
Yes, those three? Alright, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
And
glad
hold
you
on.
picked up
Hold
that.
on. Hold on. I want those names, but hold on. I want a dialogue. Because I was thinking about this.
Yes, let me send
So-
me some of the names.
So that would explain the high amounts of taxes on the papers of your associate.
Yes, other than Silith, those three are all associated with House Acre.
Hmm.
Here's I'm gonna just post the three names.
No. They are your associates, but how close are you to them? Because this would be information my father would want to be prudent to know.
Yes, of course. I personally give me a second. I'm still getting all the names.
So, if we return to Jackson with this information and not have killed them, would that, them being the people I'm getting the names of, would that really be bad?
It wouldn't be bad, but it wouldn't be a completion of your quest. You'd have to go back and finish the job.
Well, or we've gotten him the information that he couldn't get, and he could send a more equipped team to just assassinate.
You'd have to
Because
talk to
he
him.
sent. Huh?
You'd have to talk to him about it.
Okay.
Either way, you're gonna have to have a discussion.
Yeah. Because now I don't want to kill this guy, because he seems like a genuine dude.
Yeah.
Of course, he's still a scummy merchant sometimes, but
Oh, yeah, but I mean, every merchant that's high up is. So,
Yeah,
he has
So,
his own
it was-
problems. He's still a
Yeah.
scumbag. But,
Yeah.
you know, he
So,
himself is not corrupt from what you could tell.
so his response to
Oh,
what I asked.
yes. What did you ask again?
I asked how close are you to them,
Oh,
because my
yeah.
father might be wanting to be prudent to this information.
I personally have only close relations with Trayton. I have known him for a good amount of time, ever since I was just a standard merchant. He came to work for me here. However, recently we've been getting a little further from each other. After he made this deal with House Hager. I myself am suspicious of this deal, however. It is not my place.
I see. Now, as I mentioned earlier, my father has been dealing with some troubles of outside influence. I am to report to him about these names, or about the taxes, and naturally, I would try to explain any oddities that I've found.
Yes.
What am I to do with Trayton, in your opinion? Or what would you want me to do?
Trayton? Well, none of these men I would want dead. For sure. They make quite a bit of money for the guild. I myself do not particularly care where it comes from most of the time. Unless it, of course, directly affects me. Trayton, should you report him as necessary. I prefer he not be killed, either way. However, if he needs to be arrested, given some time in jail to think about his actions, they are completely reasonable to me. However, should you decide to eventually get rid of him, I would be saddened, however, understanding, for I do not personally know the affairs with House Haker, or if they're possibly influencing Dayspring. I cannot say.
I see. Now, you yourself seem to be quite honest with me. And while merchants tend to have their downsides, it is good to have loyal merchants. So,
He's
in
that
exchange,
he doesn't cut you off, but he waits for you to end, but he then says, I wouldn't call it loyalty. However, honesty is a good factor to have when you're trying to stay alive. And
And how about-
somebody is insightful enough to pick up on your lies. I'm quite familiar with the fact that you can pick up on a lie quite well. Sir Dayspring. So, I choose not to lie. It would just paint me in the worst light.
so how about this? You have some kind of attachment to Trayton, yes?
I've known him for a few years now. He's not
I
one of my
can-
closest friends. Most of them I have had to leave behind in the years. However, yes, he's a relatively close friend.
So, if in exchange for advising my father to give him a lesser punishment. Of course, I don't have much say, but I would be relaying the information,
Of course, of
and
course.
I can choose the tale that I tell.
Yes.
For a lighter tale, how about you be an informant if you suspect anything in the
Future.
guild in the future, or just loyalty. It is good to have strong relations. No,
I agree. No, this is true. I can work with this. He says that, and he then proceeds to say, and I believe that these negotiations will be fruitful for both of us. However, would you like me to report suspicious activities to your father or to somebody else?
I would like the as this is a negotiation between us, I would like the information.
Of course, of course. I cannot
As
quite. I personally do not care what you do with much of the information unless you start to bear down on my personal affairs. Or, of course, somebody from higher up steps in. However,
Well,
for now, let's say
personal affairs could benefit from this association as well.
Of course.
In case you are afraid for your safety, it is beneficial for me to make sure that you are safe. No.
Of course. I'm sure that your family, alongside you, benefits from such an arrangement.
Exactly.
Fine. Let me give you a piece of information that I've been looking into. Salirin. I'm not quite 100% sure what her connection is to other figures across other nations. However, she has been getting involved quite a bit in merchant affairs to a house called the Gold Scale, up in the north. I believe the connection is important to mention for the fact that House Goldscale is a bit of a dissident faction within the Great Secret Empire. I am unsure if this is connections to benefit the House Goldscale as a whole, or if it is simply more notable that she is simply standing out of the place by making such an association. It is quite a far distance to travel. However, I'm not quite sure the exact relation between Dayspring and Goldscale, or Trudeau and Goldscale, or any of that. However, it is important that you do take note of that. Perhaps you may have relations with this Lord Goldscale in the future as well. Earl, specifically. He is a... What is the equivalent of a count here? I do not know personally much more than that. It is only
I
what I
see.
have dug up on her.
So a low born. No, never mind. I don't say that, but I see.
That is all I've been able to dig up, personally. He then finishes up his meal afterwards.
Yeah, I would be. I would be pondering very visibly, as this has been actually a quite nice conversation, actually. I'm kind of glad that we didn't kill him on the way.
Yeah.
But after the meal, well, we've been chatting quite openly.
Yes.
Might I ask what this associate of yours is here for? As I expected either a one-on-one conversation or more of your guildmates here. However, they do not seem like a traitor.
Yes. Due to my association with House Hager, they have taken an interest in keeping me alive. I do not quite understand it, because I am not one of the direct mercantile associations. However, they had come to inform me that somebody was coming to take my life. I do not quite know the exact association. And honestly, the only reason I took trust to him in the first place is because of his house association.
Angelo will pull out his hood to reveal it's Angelo.
At
Glenn.
that, Glandall raises his eyebrows in surprise and just kind of nods his head. I see. So perhaps I can look into that with my connections in the city.
Yes, I'd appreciate it. I'm going to be, of course, bumping up my guard force.
Yes.
Because I personally do not want to get assassinated anytime soon. I'm still,
Yes.
of course, young. I'm only 33. I still got plenty of years of merchanting in me.
Yes,
And
I will have my informants around the city, because you know I have.
of course.
That's how I would duel people.
Since we're being
And,
open here, I did bring guards to this meeting. I'm not going to lie to you, Glandall.
That is reasonable.
I left
It is
them.
always.
I left them outside, not let them in or anything. Including one of my most trusted associates and quite a few others. I personally did not want to cause any tension, so I left them outside. However, I did have my suspicions about you at first. Certainly. Especially after I got the news. However, I understand, and I have come to the conclusion that it was a bit unreasonable to bring them at least this close to our location. They should have stayed outside.
Well, I will tell you the reasoning to why I met here. I met here because I'm familiar with the establishment itself, so
Yes, of course.
it brings me a bit of comfort from earlier days. However, the general location is quite unfavorable, so I can understand the suspicion.
Yes. I apologize for the trouble.
It is not a big deal. As you know, I am quite rough myself, so
Of course.
I do not feel the need to carry a guard force, but I am always asked to by my wife.
Yes, I understand. I personally am not the strongest man. I, of course, much more deal in matters of speaking. Anyhow,
Well,
I believe this meeting has gone on for quite a while. He then slowly stands up.
I stand with him and give him a polite bow.
He does the same, giving a little bit of a deeper bow. Because, noble. And he then says, I will bid you adieu, Sir Daisy.
Yes.
He then slowly walks out the door, and then he says to his associate, Are you coming with?
Me and my other associate have matters to attend to.
Of course. You,
However, be very cautious.
of course. I will see you too, perhaps at another time. He then slowly steps out of the room and back to his carriage with his guards.
Angelo will make sure Nathanos does not go along.
Hope you make sure no one goes along.
Yeah, won't go along.
Oh, wait. Sorry.
Angelo will also kind of give a wave to Antonya.
How long was the meeting? Half an hour?
An hour
45 minutes?
and about 10 minutes.
Oh, okay. Then I'm gonna bring my wine cup and walk out and just kind of drop the noble kind of act.
Yeah.
Because they know me.
Yeah.
And I just sit at the table that's the elf set and just kind of chill. Put my feet up on it and just kind of.
Hey, this man has what is like putting his feet up on table.
They then exit not too long after.
Oh no, I would have done that after they exited.
Yeah, they exited.
Yeah.
They were all gone, but they like set off at that point.
Yeah.
You could see out through the window.
And I finish off my glass of wine. I'm like, well, we succeeded in not murdering a innocent man tonight.
Angelo will join him as well, and well, usher Nathaniel's over.
I take my seat.
We believe that there were a few ambitious merchants among them that cut a deal with Haker.
Yes.
Zenzor is
I know.
quite suspicious of it himself.
I have their names now. I would have in the mission. I would have taken notes. In the
Yeah.
Or was I allowed to keep stuff?
He did give you some documents to keep. However, he took most of them back.
Then I would have taken note of the names and
Yeah. No, he let you
Important
keep
information.
a few forms, like
Yeah.
copies of them. However,
Mhm.
most of the forms he didn't have copies of.
right,
In particular, that one was one of the ones he didn't
Mhm.
have copies of.
right, because you don't want to keep copies of the suspicious stuff.
He didn't want to do that. Mostly
Yeah.
because it was on short notice for one, and for two,
Right. No, I get that.
you know, he didn't want to. That was one of the forms in particular he didn't want to have on the record if he could, because at the moment he was still suspicious. All that.
Yeah.
And, he wasn't trying to get himself in trouble. So
Yeah.
he gave you
Well.
what he has given you.
So, to explain, what went wrong?
Yeah. So why did I actually have a meeting with a noble about taxes?
Not a noble merchant.
So, he invited us inside the carriage, and we couldn't really lure him outside the carriage to stab him, so took Nathanos with us.
Did you not plan for a carriage and guards?
Nope.
No, I mean, see, the point. Well, I mean, see, the point could still have happened if he would go in the alleyway. But yeah, no, we didn't account for it.
Well, this was a better outcome anyway.
Yeah, luck. Quite lucky. So one question I do. So we have 3, potentially 4 targets that we would have to murder or jail.
I feel like it would be a better conversation to have with Jackson.
That may be true as well.
However, I needed to have a conversation with my father-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
As originally it was going to be staged, but now I have genuine information that he should be prudent too.
I have a question. Is Antonya still drenched?
She's dried off quite a bit at this point, but
I feel
still
like
a
my
little bit.
clothes would
water.
still be damp.
They'd be damp, but not drenched.
Not dripping or anything.
Yeah.
So is the plan?
There is a small puddle behind her, though.
So is the plan to just wait another day and inform your father, and then we're gonna leave and inform Trudeau?
Well, I need to head to a manor, and then I assume my wife will want to have met me, have dinner with me, spend a day with me, have me argue out of another day with her. In that time, I would assume that my father would have time, but then it might take another day for him to open up his schedule. I do not know what he's up to currently. And Jackson worried me with saying I might want to leave as he has plans for my father. However, that is understandable. So it might be a half a week. However, Jackson did not say we had to hurry back. So You would all be invited in.
I
And we'll
should
look at Nathanos and Antonya for their response.
I should go out and look for who else was Birch, Hancock, Kitag, and Thalia.
Well, I would assume we would go and find them, and then we would head out.
Yeah.
And
there you go.
obviously, I assume, do we want to ride on the road at night or in day?
Preferably day.
Then we would have to board for the night. So,
Nathanos will nod.
Well, things the same. They got a bit more complicated than we first thought.
I don't think Chris intended me to use my noble stuff as much, but it isn't a problem, I don't think.
I just worked
It
around
worked.
it.
Yeah. Or, yeah.
I think this is a good place.
To end for the night.
I mean, is there anything else we need to do?
We could do the meeting with his father. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Other than that, no.
I mean, I'd like to have at least everybody here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, before you return to Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. So
Yeah, I didn't realize it was so late.
it's 12:30. We've already done 2 hours.
2.5.
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
I would still at least like to get other people though.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah. That was fun though.
Yeah.
Well, we're not done yet.
Dude,
I know. All right, so you want to do my?
like,
Yeah.
that was probably Angelo's most stressful moment so far. Was that
Really?
carriage ride and the dinner.
I mean, at least I got to show my
As
skills
you
in
walked
deception.
in, you just my eyes were just like, what the fuck?
when I brought down my cloak.
Yeah.
And
Well,
ran
also
off.
just when you entered, because I didn't know who you were,
Oh
and I
yeah.
didn't expect him to show up. So I was just like, okay, and who's this?
Plan change, plan change, plan change.
Yeah, but also my guy's great at improvising and lying, and so he just went with it. It turned out for the better.
Yeah.
All right.
Just like deceive the hell out of it.
So, you guys are gonna have to board at the tavern again, and then I'm gonna have to sneak out to my house again.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try to. As I'm leaving, I wave to Rosa.
Yeah, of course. She waves back as you head out.
And I would like to try and sneak to my house.
Yeah, you're fine. You make it
Oh,
back.
okay, cool.
You're not gonna have to roll stealth or anything.
Well, shall we go for the tavern for the night? I'd rather not search for the others.
I mean,
Just
I'll just
let
go
it
ahead and
come
give a message to them and go find wherever they went off to.
Mm.
I don't think we need to RP that. I think they just be
No,
at the
I'm
bar.
just. I'm not gonna really RP. I'm just gonna leave. And then
No,
meet
I
them
think
there
they'd be at
tavern.
the bar.
You've been at the tavern this entire time.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for nothing, guys.
I don't think. To be fair, we didn't need more people in the end. But
Oh yeah, at the end, but just yeah.
All right.
So-
Yeah. As you all head off, the three of you return to the tavern once more. Festival at this point is over, so it's a lot quieter. Everybody's sort of calmed down. It's actually less busy than a normal night due to that fact, and otherwise you are currently just in the main room. Cal, you get on your horse and you return home, and you do the same ghetto setup that you did the night prior.
Get him.
What do you mean? I just have the horse sleep inside.
Yeah.
That is a. Dang, I didn't know there was medieval ghetto setup.
I didn't know medieval could get ghetto. I thought medieval would
You
just
get my
be
point.
ghetto.
You get my
Yeah.
point.
He just walks
Yeah.
around with the gun everywhere.
Angelo had a stressful day, so he's gonna perform with his zither to unwind.
Roll performance. Or roll zither. It's alright. It's above average. It's not amazing. Thoroughly
You gonna
unimpressive.
wank it, or are you gonna try to get a wench?
Nah,
No wench for tonight.
no.
wench?
I see.
No,
Stephen
10
Cole.
Angelo, if
minutes.
anything, would want to create a meaningful relationship. Usually, it just doesn't pan out.
Yeah.
Last
If
more than
anything,
10
he's probably
minutes,
gonna go
one would
search.
say.
If he was going to try to find someone, he'd probably search for the person he
Roll
met prior.
perception.
Person name?
Nope.
From what you could tell, you can't see her.
She just
Search.
in
I'll search.
full
I'll probably
fucking
search
plate.
sometime during the day.
Before
Are you
you
looking
leave.
for the female guard?
Yeah. We have like a week to leave, so we have a week to find her.
Looking for the
The
female
fuck?
guard.
What do you mean you have a week? You were invited to the manor.
Well, that doesn't mean we have to spend all of our time in the manor, does it?
It's gonna take half a week first of all.
Start half. Well, we at least have
And the
half a week.
journey's like 3 hours one way.
We at least have half a week.
Alright.
So, are y'all just gonna head to bed for the night?
Yeah.
I'll spend some time at the bar.
Otherwise,
Motherfucker.
bed.
Sure.
All right. Night passes into day once more. Why did you write an S,
Cause I can.
bruh? As you write an S upon the... Goddamn. As you all head to bed for the night, it passes once more into day. The morning rises, you all awaken, getting ready for the day once more.
Oi, you fucks! What happened here? Alright. Well, I head out to meet them.
I'll be outside.
Angelo will also greet him at the entrance
All right.
after getting some breakfast.
I'll follow playing with my glowing pebbles that I still have.
Well,
No, that's accurate.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
as you do that,
So-
all of you are stood outside once more, met up for the day. You are free to do as you wish.
so shall we go to the manor?
Yeah.
Unless you have anything else to do, then let's get going.
Very well, let us go. And I would lead the whole party to my home.
One last thing. Riley, roll perception.
Don't.
And you leave without seeing her.
Go return to town one day. Yes.
Well, we're gonna go through town again anyway, so.
Mm-hmm.
You head down towards the manor. It takes around 45 minutes to arrive. And you return.
Yeah, it's not 3 hours. Fuck.
3
Anyway.
hours is to get back.
One way. Back? What?
To the fucking... Or no, it's more than 3 hours, but 45 minutes is to the manor. The manor's not that far away.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's any manor for a noble for like
Yeah.
custody.
Yeah.
It's got to be at least in
Alright.
relatively close proximity to that.
So what do we see as we approach?
Well, you certainly see some things.
Really?
All right, yeah.
No way.
As you approach,
Sweats?
you are heading along the road, and as you move along, you see quite a few things. Right?
There's a couple trees here.
Yeah,
couple trees
it's just a
there.
nice nature walk, pretty much. There's a few farms
Roll.
and whatnot, but nothing
Roll
too
initiative.
major.
Oh no.
As you
You
stop,
see some trees. Roll initiative.
you arrive at a manor walled. It is not a castle, but it is a walled manor with some towers around it, of course. And as you approach, the guards look before you. Do you have your hood off?
Yeah?
All right, cool. And you're on your own horse, right?
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, Angelo would no longer be in his cloak.
As you approach, the gates get open for you because they recognize you and sort of just let you through.
Yeah.
And you enter.
I wave to Dave and Fred.
Dave and Fred, the two guards, the gate guards.
Yeah, they're the gate guards. At least for the shift in the morning.
Of course. And as you walk out, Riley, or Tony, I see you getting on Warband.
I'm booting up the title card. That's it.
Okay. Okay, Tony. As you head into the... fuck. Oh, fuck. Words. As you...
Word!
As you
Wow.
slowly head into the manor, it is a nice... Do you want me to get a picture for it, or just sort of...
Yeah?
God damn it.
I mean, you don't. If you don't have one right now, you don't have to.
I'll find one, but I won't make it like a super important...
Yeah.
You approach and head up towards the main door, and sort of stop beforehand. As you do that... What the fuck? Bruh. Okay, there we go. As you approach the main door, you are stopped by some servants that say, yes, Sir Dayspring, or Sir Glandall, might we take your horses over to the stables so that you may, head inside with no other problems?
Of course. And please take my guest horses as well.
Of course.
And I dismount.
Nathanos would hop off his horse.
Literal jump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you all get out of the cart or out of the horses, you are now stood in front of the main door of a fine manor.
So this is my home.
I have to admit, you have quite the... Fuck.
Parents? Yes, I know. Well, married as well.
Fuck.
Reminds me of something similar I once saw before.
It reminds me of my old home.
Oh, you must tell me of your tale. In the
Sometime.
future.
Yeah.
Yes, I have business to attend to, and I would like to walk in and find my father's study.
Here's the picture
Where
of the
he-
manor.
Probably.
That's a fucking manor and a half.
Oh yeah.
He's a count.
It's almost like a castle, just minus
It goes
the,
Count and Duke.
Yeah.
There's nothing in between. So they are the second rung of nobility. They are wealthy as hell.
the Count
He
Duke.
holds prominence over a wealthy merchant town.
Yeah.
So,
And that's
take that as
why
you will.
3 upper merchants working for another duke is important.
Yes. As you slowly walk towards the study. One guard has, of course, stood before it, and he says, "Do you wish to see the master?"
Of course.
He then slowly opens, or do you wish to see the count? Is what I should have said there. He then opens the door and says, "He's currently not busy, from what I know, so you may enter. I would ask that your friends remain outside, however. However, I cannot stop you if you choose to bring them inside." This man isn't a super duper important guard. Most of or even a knight. You do have a few knights in service to your house. However, most of them are not
Away.
They might be at the manor, but are, from what you know, they're not.
Yeah. Oh, you. Please don't cause trouble while I talk to my father. And I enter the room without them.
Alright, he then closes the door, and he stands before them. It's not like he thinks he could stop them all if they really wanted to go in, but he's staying wary.
Right, he doesn't... I get it.
He doesn't know them. He trusts you enough, but also...
Enough.
I mean, consider your upbringing.
Yeah.
However, he is also...
Consider my status.
You've been here a while. He trusts you.
Yeah.
But you don't usually interact with her father all that much. It's mostly with your wife that you interact with, so...
Yeah.
He then... he sits... your father is sat across the room from you at a large, nice mahogany desk with a fine chair that looks very comfortable behind it. He has a pair of what appear to be spectacles on and is writing with a quill on... do you want a picture of your father, or do you just want to...
Sure. If you have one prepared. Otherwise, I'm fine with just the description.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find one real quick that I like. How old is your father? Like, is he middle-aged, or...
Yeah, he's middle-aged, but he is still handsome.
So, handsome, middle-aged, and all that. Alright. Let me see if I can find one real quick to describe for you. If I don't find anything, that'll be very, very sad. There you go, it's in the chat.
Hog.
So the man...
How come he
How come what?
doesn't have a punchable face? Son gets a punchable face.
I'm not related to him.
Yeah, they're not related. Not
This
my
is
blood.
my daughter's... Or not my daughter, my wife's.
That'd be awkward.
His father-in-law.
This is his father-in-law, yes.
Yeah, he's my
My
father.
daughter's father.
My daughter's
Daughter's father would be you, so...
And me is my alter ego.
Yeah, no, he sat there. He looks up at you and says, "What brings you here? I don't believe I had asked for you, and I thought you were meeting with the Duke."
I was, and he sent me back to town for matters unrelated at this point. However, I have come across some notable information that you might want to hear.
Oh? He looks up from what he's writing. He had given you a cursory glance, but had quickly gotten back to work. He then puts down the quill, and he says, "Do tell."
Many of the upper staff in the Raymond's Merchant Guild here in town have side contracts with House Haker, and that is how they have these numbers on their taxes. And I approach and hand them a form, numbers that I wrote down.
Yeah.
And whether sneakily or not, I don't know, but
yeah, no. He would have, or Zenzor wouldn't have said anything.
Okay, then yeah, I would have.
Yeah, he then He looks down at them, analyzes the numbers for a bit, and he says, "Are these the only outliers?"
There is one more. She is a elven merchant, and she seemed to be having. She seemed to have relations with the gold scale house in what is the country called?
Grayseeker.
In Greyseeker. I have not heard of them, but
Ah. He takes note of that. He sort of takes some notes on an alternate piece of paper, and he's like,
I am unsure of her relation. But considering they do not pose a direct defiance to us, I think the more prudent information is the upper staff.
"Yes, that is quite troublesome having a connection to House Haker, especially when we are
Yes.
direct vassals of House Trudeau. It'd be different if
Now,
I was some baron or some viscount. However, I directly answer to him. I don't imagine he'd be happy to hear such information."
yes, that is something I will have to tell him as well. However, if you deal with them, we might not. Now, the person I got the information from does have some relation to Trayton on this list.
Yes.
So he has asked me for a more lenient punishment, but understands if that is not allowed.
He ruminates on this for a moment before saying, "There's nothing I can directly do to these men in the first place. They're merchants,
Well.
independent. I technically have no authority over who they make contracts with. The simple thing I could do is banishment, however, that would not benefit me, especially
No,
because
it
I
would
could get
not.
taxes on all of these."
However, this is information to keep in mind
"Yes.
for the future.
Should they go missing, I would certainly not miss them, however. That is quite a bit of money."
At that, Glandall kind of smiles. Yes, they may go missing. It would also be beneficial if they do that is not looked into with high proof.
Yes.
Um,
He basically picks up on what you're saying right now.
yeah, yeah.
He has a good understanding of you at this point. You've known each other for years,
Yeah.
but and he sort of just he nods to that and he just says, "Yes, I will ensure that it is not investigated too thoroughly."
Thank you, Father. And I give a polite nod.
Now,
I
I did
I
pick up
can
on
also,
something else,
oh,
Glandall.
sorry. Yes.
This all came up as soon as you returned from the Trudeau estate. Might I ask if he asked you to do anything?
He asked me to investigate the Merchant Guild for suspicion that they might be working for House Haker, and thus I found this.
Have you fought? As your father, I would like to ask if you have signed any contracts with. Sorry, as your father-in-law, I would like to ask if you have signed any contracts with Jackson.
Would this prove a problem?
Not necessarily. It just is troublesome, as it is just another further connection that I have to that man that sometimes I'd rather not. He's quite brash and garish at times.
Yes.
Very militaristic.
I'd like to apologize for making the decision without seeking your counsel, but I have.
It is understandable. He is quite a powerful man. I'm sure he gave you quite a good deal.
Oh, yes.
Hopefully this will cause more benefits for us than it will detriments.
Well, he wishes to win the next. Was it a lands meet? What was it?
It's a council of nobles. So basically, these don't happen like ever. It's very rarely that the king calls upon a council of nobles. However, in this case, it is after the king has died, a council of nobles is to be called to select the next king among the current.
Which will be a duke.
Yes, which will it's basically like there's no other chances for any other families. It's gonna be a duke.
Yeah.
But the question is, which duke? So
We were told that we can't tell of the mission, right?
yes,
Like specifics of the mission,
Yes.
not of the relations, right?
you are free to disseminate this information to the count. It is up to you.
Okay.
However Jackson takes it will be up to him.
Well, what was his wording?
I'd have to remember it, but
Because it was like, if you say something, you can say something, but you might end up in a body bag. So I don't know what I'm allowed to say.
it's it was if you say like if you speak of your mission of not his ambition, if you speak of his the exact
Not his
specifics,
ambition.
it's not his ambition, which is to become king.
Okay.
It's if you
Right,
like, talk
and
of
that's
specifics
pretty-
of your duties and your
Okay.
taskings that you might end up
Which-
floating in a river.
Which isn't. I've kind of done that, but not in detail or anything.
Yeah, it's
And I don't think my father will say anything.
probably not. I mean,
Or
it
if
wouldn't
he
benefit him.
does, I don't think it would
It wouldn't
not
him.
benefit him.
Yeah, it wouldn't have any specific detriments to him, but it wouldn't benefit him either.
Right.
So he's probably not going to say anything.
Right. So what were we talking about?
We had just talked about.
Oh, yeah. He wishes to win the next
Council of Nobles.
Council of Nobles.
Ah, yes. I was quite sure that his ambition would somehow lead him back to me.
So, he has hired a group of people.
I did hear
Needless
some other
to say.
footsteps. I'm guessing that is part of it, at least.
Yes, they are my party of sorts.
Well, I won't ask any further questions. Thank you for informing me of this. I will take this into note.
Of course. I give another bow.
He gives a light nod to you, and then he says, "You are free to go at your leisure."
Thank you. And I turn and leave.
Yeah. As you head out, the guard says, "Was it a good meeting, Sir Glandall?"
It was a brief meeting, meaning nothing wrong has happened.
Ah, that is certainly good to say the least.
Yes.
He then turns to your party and just sort of eyes him up a little bit more.
While they look shifty, they can be trusted to a degree.
He
They're
gives a
to
light
be
nod to
housed.
that. He gives a slightly. He's not eyeing them up as much, but he's still definitely like keeping an eye on them.
Right, yeah. They are to be housed in the estate in the coming days. I suspect my wife will have want of me.
Yes, you've been gone for a few days now. I would be surprised if your wife did not take to wanting to see you.
Yes. And so where is she right now?
Yes, your wife is currently dealing with some affairs with a member of a warrior guild.
Oh.
They had come to speak to her regarding a certain problem with dire wolves that we've been having, and they've been asking, and we of course could send our own guards. However, this warriors guild has been asking for contracts from us for quite a while, so she's arguing out the details right now with the guildmaster. Normally the count would take to this himself. However, he's quite busy with quite a bit of paperwork, I'm sure now.
And it is good for her to gain experience while he can watch over her and
Yes.
give her guidance.
Yes. I'm sure you will have comments for her later. Once he hears
Well.
of the proceedings, at least.
Yes. I think it would be best if I go have a chat with Farengar.
Farengar's Secret Fire. I think that's his full
Yeah.
name. So you want to go speak with your court mage?
No, that I was saying that was the leader of the guild.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Fine. Angelo would just turn to Nathanos and just like,
You guys are allowed to be guest in Noble's estate.
Alright.
You have access to what you want. What do you want?
what family do you hail from, Nathanos, again?
Pull up my thing.
The dead one.
It's a dead one, but Kalnichian family.
I'm just curious how this reminds you of your home. It means you must have been from a very wealthy family.
Well, it's a very wealthy family, but yes.
Angelo picks up on the wise and is just like, wow. Like,
You
Well,
vibe with
that's
that, don't you, Riley?
mhm. What you, Antonya? What do you think? Ever been to an estate like this?
Well, considering I spend about 90% of my time at sea, no, I really
No, I rarely see
haven't.
stone estates.
When you mean at sea, do you mean on a ship?
Yes.
Angelo was just kind of shocked for a bit.
That must have been one hell of a time.
Well, when your family, or the people you consider family, are a bunch of dwarves who drink all day, it's something.
So you were on a ship with a band of dwarves at sea for a very long time.
Like the interesting upbringing.
All
I
right.
inquire what exactly happened to your parents? If you live on a ship with dwarves, I assume something happened.
I don't actually quite know myself. Anytime I ever try to bring it up, they all just kind of just avoid the question.
They drank more.
Oh my god.
Kind of depressing. Hmm. I heard a friend of don't know if you know the name anymore, but it was from the House of Belmont who they had a manor like this.
You would be familiar with this name, Glandall.
Am I still there?
Have you walked away at this point?
Well, I wanted to go see if the meeting was being okay, but if they were actively trying to have a conversation with me in it, I wouldn't have walked away.
I think it was just a general conversation that you
Yeah, it
were
was just
having.
general
Like,
Very
conversation.
general.
you weren't specifically included.
Then I would have walked to the meeting hall where my wife would be.
The other two of you might know the name, but you're not really familiar with the situation regarding it. Yeah. In regards to you, Cal, from what you could tell, the meeting's heated, but definitely in favor of your wife.
I did say I knew the dude, because I might have dueled some of his warriors before.
Yeah.
And might have blinded some.
Mm. Yeah, no, it's a heated debate that they're having, but it's not. It's definitely not in favor of the guildmaster.
Mm-hmm. So I just watch over and
You just like listen in, or are you like standing outside, or are
I
you like?
just I make my presence known
So you walk
as
outside
like
and you like stand in the room.
yeah, and I kind of back my wife up wordlessly and kind of just watch with my arms folded.
Yeah, no, your wife does like give notice to you, but she doesn't say anything.
I just kind of lean against the wall and wait.
And the debate goes on for a good while longer, and then eventually they come to the end of their proceedings and within favor of your wife, and then the guildmaster heads out. The contract was, of course, given out, the bounty, of course, and all that. And then she looks towards you, and you can have whatever discussion you want with her. I'm not familiar with how you want your wife to act or whatnot, especially towards you, but
Yep.
you then get off to some form of conversation after that point. At first it's regarding the meeting, and then it's just general what you've been up to and where you went.
Where you been? Why haven't we talked in 2 weeks?
Yeah, like that kind of stuff.
How do you have so much money now? I
Yeah.
thought I only gave you 5 gold. How did you leave with 25? Why do you have 66? Who did you stab for it?
Yeah, just a bunch of questions,
Yeah, the usual.
Yeah, what you'd expect.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of you are still just currently stood in a hallway, and do we want to do?
Outside the count's room
Yeah,
or study.
you are ushered away after a good bit by the guard, and just told go do this somewhere else, like in the courtyard or something.
Alright.
Oh yeah, and then there's like the guard training area, because of course we train our own guards.
Yeah, and you're free to go do whatever. Do you guys want to do anything specific over these days at the estate?
Nothing that needs to be RP'd out. Just kind of assure my wife and tell her that where
you've been, what you've been
that
up
I'm
to,
gonna
all
be
that.
working and stuff.
Yeah.
But also to her, me saying I'm going to be working, she knows my skills, and she knows that that's not very safe. So she's not very happy about it.
Just
So,
as
yeah.
expected,
Yeah. There's a reason I didn't talk to her for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Trophy wife, I see.
No.
Yeah, no, otherwise, yeah. You spend your 3 or so days at the estate. Passes by relatively uneventfully, apart from a few guards yelling at you guys to stop loitering around the count's office. And then...
Yeah, every day they go back in front of there.
Yeah. And then you are basically... The days pass, and it comes into 3 days. And that's basically the time that you designated that you'd leave, but it's up to you.
I mean, yeah, I think that by that point, I feel like I would have been able to convince my wife that I need to go. Because that was really the threshold
Yeah.
of when my wife would let me go.
Yeah. 3 days of convincing and chatting and all that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she lets you go and all that, and you're free to return to the Trudeau estate or return to town or whatever you're gonna do.
I would have been listening in on any affairs, like meetings over at Knot that she's in, like that meeting.
Yeah.
Well, anything I learned?
No, not really. She's in a
Damn
few,
it.
but they're all relatively unmemorable. There was one of the barons came in and regarded her about some troublesome monsters in their territory that they need assistance with, and just general stuff like that.
So nothing about like politics.
No, from what you could tell, anything about politics was either didn't happen because you didn't see many important figures come in, or were kept under
Was
very
hush
tight
hush
wraps.
because I was listening.
Yeah. or something like that. You're not sure. You didn't see anybody too important come in.
Okay.
So, no. Well, you could tell you're good. You didn't hear anything.
Alright. Then that's that.
So we go back to the Trudeau estate, passing through the town.
Yeah.
I would at least like when we get back to town to go to the magic shop real quick.
Yeah. All right. So as you return to town, you pass by the magic shop once more, and you find your way there and you enter it.
All right. I go inside and go to see whoever the shopkeep is.
As you approach the shopkeep, he regards you and says, "How can I help you today?"
Do you have anything for books per se, or any weapons of any sort that are enchanted?
I have a few trinkets and whatnot in regards to weapons. And what do you mean specifically by books? As in spell books, or?
Yeah, any kind of spell books.
I do have a few spell books, but you don't look yourself to be the wizard. I have a few scrolls if that's what you're looking for, but
Well,
I'm sure
books
they're
or
well out
scrolls
of
would
your.
be fine.
Of course, I'm sure they're well out of your price range. These are not cheap, to say the least.
Am I at least able to take a look at them and see what you have available?
Ah, yes. Uh, he pulls out some scrolls and a few weapons. One of them appears to be a sword that does like flame damage. It's a long sword though. It's not a
Yo.
great sword.
Yo, I think I know what that was.
Yeah. There's nothing of your like that you would use. Like there's a other than like a
Any
great
two-handed?
axe. There's a great axe. But otherwise, no.
I would mostly look at any two-handed weapons that are available.
There are some versatile weapons. There's one two-handed weapon, and that's a great axe that appears to have an enchantment for basically what's it called? Fuck. Oh yeah. It has an enchantment that allows it to do frost damage.
I would pick up the axe and take a look at it. How much for this?
That'll be 35 gold pieces.
Let me check how much gold I have.
You definitely have enough.
Yeah. 40 gold. Alright. I would put down the 35 gold there.
Yeah, he as you take the 35 gold, you notice that the axe is indeed enchanted. It doesn't have a name. It's just called the Great Axe of Frost. However, it does.
It'll learn a name in due time.
Yeah, I'm sure. You've already changed away from a sword. All right.
Well, I'm going to go back and forth between both, depending on the occasion.
Yeah. This does I don't know the base damage. It does an additional 2 frost damage alongside your other damages.
Alright.
And counts as magical for purposes.
You could.
A great axe is 1d12, I believe.
Is it 1d12? I was wondering. Yeah,
Yes.
that makes sense. Yeah.
A great sword is 2d6, which
Yeah.
is statistically better.
Yep.
I'd like to go back and forth between two weapons.
No, I'm not saying it's a bad weapon.
Yeah.
Because now your minimum damage is actually higher than a standard greatsword by 1.
Angelo would probably just be mostly searching
Roll perception.
for a person.
Yeah.
Would I notice that he's looking around? Oh, but I don't know who it is.
Yeah.
I guess I could look for a description. Or I could ask to find the descriptions amongst the guard force.
Oh,
Do you tell him, Angelo?
I'll give a description of who she is.
Then I would like to apply the assist action and give him that advantage that he would have.
All right, then. Yeah. You find her. After a while, it takes you a few hours.
I kind of point her out. Oh, what I think is her.
Yeah.
I like to
Angelo,
imagine.
when you
Angelo
see,
just searched for like an hour, and then he gives a description immediately to Glandall, and Diesel just points.
He just points to the corner.
yeah,
He's
And
like,
then
that's
"Her?"
exactly what happened. In fact, yeah. When you see her, it's exactly the woman from the night.
You slept? Well, you didn't sleep with her.
Yeah, technically we did not. I did not.
I would like to
It
find
does.
places.
Remember, it is a great axe of frost, so it does an additional 2 damage.
Crap. Didn't mean to roll that.
Spear. Ironic. As do you approach her, Riley?
Angelo quickly just thinks of what he's actually gonna try to say to her.
Okay.
You could always
Trying
just
to
ask
think on
for round 2.
how to convince her to. He doesn't think this is gonna work, but he's gonna try. So, yes, you will approach her.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, you're approaching now. The guard.
Oh, you're approaching.
The guard woman sees you, and she's like
And blushes.
a tad. And then she says, "I see you found me once more."
I never did get a name.
Round 2?
Fuck.
That's not the goal of this, actually. That's not the goal, actually.
Not
It'd be
right now, at
funny if it
least. Let me find. We're gonna use a brilliant website.
Behind the name.
Behind the name.
Exactly, actually.
No. She just pulls out a giant book and starts looking through it.
Just a dictionary-sized book. She's like, what name do I want to use today?
Feminine.
Hey, what's your name? Alright, so I want you to look at this board of names. Alright? Which one's yours? No. You choose.
Name me Angelo.
Yes, I'm Ina Greenberg. I'm just a guard, as you see. Nobody too special.
No. Sadly, I will be leaving soon. I was wondering, if there was any chance you would like to accompany me as we travel the nation.
He says while standing next to fucking Glandall, who pointed her out.
Is he still pointing?
No, he isn't, but he's next to you.
Angelo kind of just scratched the back of his head.
Roll persuade.
Persuasion.
Nice.
Let's go.
That sounds wonderful. I don't know if I have the funds or if I'd be much help to your guys' adventure, but it would be wonderful to go on just be an adventurer. I considered it a long time ago, but I didn't have the money or the skill to pull it off. But if you guys are with me, I'm sure it will be fine. I hope you take note of your lover's name.
Yes. Now the real problem is what do I mean, I'm probably gonna have to inform him I'm working for the Duke, but the real question is, do I get her to join in on this?
No.
No.
We don't do adventures. We do political intrigue for the Duke. I don't know if that's a good thing to tell a guard. Or someone that's expecting an adventure. Not like we're going around killing goblins, right?
Yeah. Well,
So, you might be able to convince the Duke to house her.
Angelo will try to kind of correct himself and say it's not necessarily an adventure. We work under some nobility.
Glandall eyes you warily.
Oh, who do you work for?
Glandall does that.
I'm afraid I'm not at the greatest mercy to.
No,
You
no, no.
heard
He
him
doesn't
from-
do it like just tell you to shut up. He does it as if it's him.
Panic, stabs her, and runs away.
I'm trying to let you know to say me.
For actually, it's someone you might be very familiar with. He kind of just shows his hand off to Glandall.
Oh,
Yes, I've been standing right fucking next to you the whole time.
she did notice, of course, and she gave a bow
Yeah.
as you approached, but she then says, "Oh, you work for the. How would? Oh, you work for Sir Glandall here.
Yes.
I've met him,
Yes.
I believe, once before, but he probably doesn't remember. I'm just one of many guards, of course. But yes, it's
Can I roll history?
yeah, roll history for me.
And I'll roll that on the sheet too.
Yeah, roll history.
I fucking remember her. Come on.
Oh yeah, you do. You remember her. This very specific guard was actually a pretty exemplar guard among all the other ones. She had quite a bit of skill, from what you remember, especially with the sword. And she was actually pretty deft with the tongue as well. She wasn't a politician, but she could.
Yeah,
she could get her
she's
way.
real good with the tongue. That's
Shut
what
up.
Riley found out as well.
Yeah, shut up. But she was pretty deft with her word as well. She's not fantastic. She's not a politician or anything like that, but she could get herself out of a troubling situation, talk her way through things.
Oh yes, Ayana. I remember that name. Yes, yes, I remember now. You were quite excellent with your sword, and further excelled with being able to talk out of tight situations. I remember you managed to convince a thief that instead of running with the money, she'd give it back, and in return you would give him a lighter sentencing. Of course, I then stabbed him in the spleen and he bled out, but that was quite adept with the words.
Yes, I thank you for remembering me, Sir Glandall. She gives another light bow.
Be honest with you guys, I wasn't expecting Angela to actually succeed in this because, like, convincing someone to leave home.
You got a 17, man.
And he has the fucking noble that is known around these parts.
And
Just
sponsoring.
fucking next to him. Yeah, and sponsoring, yeah. So,
I'm sure.
there's several factors.
I'm sure that while it may not be the exact adventure I'm looking for, it will still be interesting to explore the entire country. I've been within all of the county before, however, I've never left, and it'd be wondrous to see not only the capital, the duchy. It'd be wonderful to see Black Talon.
What the fuck is that?
It's the capital. It's in the Royal Lands.
Oh, okay.
This is the first time this has ever worked for Angelo, so he's just kind of shocked.
Well, if you are so excited, we will cross one of your locations off the list and go to House Trudeau. What do you think of that?
Oh, that would be wonderful. I'd love to visit Vice. I haven't had a chance. I don't ever get time off from being a guard anymore, apart from the festival, of course, and required time off. But it's never enough time to go visit the capital, or visit Duke Trudeau's city, with any modicum of actual time. Sounds great.
Well, my friend, I believe you have a date. And I get back on my horse and go over to Nathanos and just kind of leave the two of them.
All right.
I didn't think I'd get this far.
And well, you still want to build a harem, so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but-
now you have to explain to her how she's gonna be one of many.
No, that may be an issue for another day.
That's a problem for the future, Angelo.
It's not
Yeah,
a problem
fuck
for
that
the
guy.
Outlaws, you know.
Fuck future Angelo. Honestly, that guy's a cunt. All right.
Fuck that guy.
All
We
right.
only care about current.
I think that's a
Angelo.
good place to end the session.
Yeah.
All
Because
right.
now we would all be heading out to the estate. and
Yeah, you'd be
Then we
returning
went
to
to
Vice
that.
Haven to go meet
I
with.
didn't get my books, but that's fine. I'll get it later.
Yeah. I mean, there's a magic shop in Vice Haven, and you're gonna have some downtime. So.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
And we're
boys.
gonna get paid, right?
Yep, you
'Cause
are
then
gonna get
it'll
paid.
be
You're gonna get paid after every mission, alongside your initial payment that you got for signing on. So.
nice.
That's where we end the session, boys. I hope you all had fun, and have a good night.